Is we're challenging leadership to let them know that we're going to hold them accountable, just like I get held accountable in my district by our constituents. And we want to let them know that we're watching. And, you know, we're willing to work with leadership, and I look forward to doing that. And that's why I stuck with the Republican Party with Mr. Canner.
Well, let me ask you a little bit more about that, because you were quoted in the National Journal as saying, I'll quote you, "Career politicians created this mess, or at least they didn't do anything to prevent it." So,
right.
You know, you term limited yourself, you said, to 8 years. So should everyone face that limit, even those already in office?
Well, I think people ought to limit themselves. You know, I set that limit of 8 years because I figured that was good enough for George Washington. It's good enough for me. You know, the founders didn't intend for us to make a living out of this or that long of a career. And that's for each person to decide. Me personally, I decided for 8 years. And it goes back to what you said there. You know, our message that got us here was that the career politicians did get us here. And they either led us to where we're at or they failed to prevent it. Neither is acceptable. And this is a time that we need to put America first. Not so much a political party. The parties are important, but it's more important to put our country first. And I look forward to doing that, and I let leadership know that I'm willing to work for them, work with them, but yet I'm also willing to stand up against them.
And let me ask you, though, in terms of John Boehner, you know, now he's won. You didn't vote for him, but he's going to be leading your party. He's the Speaker of the House. So the bill that he allowed to come to the floor, the fiscal cliff bill that is now law, that the president has signed, would you have supported the Speaker and voted for that, or would you, like Eric Canner, have gone against the Speaker?
I would have gone against that, you know, with what I've read.
And then how can you then vote for John Boehner? I mean, I know you voted for Eric Canner, but how can you say you're going to work with John Boehner and go along with him when you totally disagreed with what he did?
Well, what we have to do is stand up, be willing to challenge him on the tough decisions, and hopefully be a part of that decision making, to where that we can say, I don't think that's the right direction, or maybe the right messaging that we need to get out. And being willing to stand up and do that, I think, is more important, that they know where you come from the very beginning, but yet let them know that you're going to work with leadership, because he is our leader. And I'm 100% behind him, just like Mr. Obama. President Obama is our president. And, you know, they are the people in charge right now, and so we've got to do the best we can. And again, this goes back to do the best we can for the country, and that's what I'm up here for.
All right, so let me ask you, because some people might listen to you right now and say, all right, you're going to be one of those people who's never going to vote for taxes to go up. You're going to be on the more right wing of your party. You know, a lot of others like you have been causing problems for John Boehner, but yet those people might be surprised that you said you will not sign Grover Norquist's pledge on taxes. So it sounds like you're saying, look, I'm willing for taxes to go up in the right situation.
Well, again, you know, if you look over the course of the last 40 to 50 years, the Republicans have been in charge and the Democrats have been in charge. And our country is falling, it's going in the wrong direction. And this is the time, again, not to put a party first, but put the country first. And if we put the country first, we take the focus off of ourselves in a party, and we put the focus on what's best for this country. And that's what we have to do. And it's going to take a give and take from both sides.
Do you think that Republican lawmakers who supported the fiscal cliff deal, the bill you said you would have voted against, should face primary challenges in 2014? And obviously that doesn't just include people like John Boehner, it includes Paul Ryan.
Well, I think that most of them are going to face challenges, just as the way that our electoral process works. But should they? Because they voted that way, that's for their constituents to decide, not me. And their constituents will let them know. All
right. Well, Congressman Yoho, nice to meet you, although virtually.
Aaron,
thanks.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well,
Same here.
We'll see you again soon. And now let's bring in John Avlon, CNN contributor and senior political columnist with Newsweek, The Daily Beast. All right. What do you make of that? So you come in on day one, make a stand against Boehner, but you're not signing the Grover Norquist tax pledge, so it's hard to read
it's
that.
It's fascinating. I mean, you know, a bold move on day one to go against Speaker Boehner. Right. I mean, you know, that's some folks would say you're burning bridges, but he clearly did it from a position of principle. And one of the themes of his campaign, you know, he took on an incumbent Republican congressman, won a primary. No one thought he'd win. He ran a great ad depicting the politicians as pigs off the trough. So he's got a very anti-establishment message. And to his credit, he says, look, we need to find a way to work across party lines, and he's not signing any pledges. That's a hopeful sign.